Everyone, to the planning and zoning meeting for February 20th. First item of business, establish quorum, which is established. Second item of business is approved meeting minutes from February 6th, 2024.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from February 6, 2024.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Travis. Meeting minutes approved. Next item, recognize persons not on the agenda. Seeing none. Move on to item 4, conflict of interest, ex parte declarations. Any commissioner, employer, or commissioner or family member have an economic interest of any matter on the agenda?
No.
Ooh, no.
Nope. Negative is me as well. So first item, business public hearing action item, amend existing conditional use permit off-premise sign for the applicant is Ron Cox. I request to amend existing conditional use permit for off-premise sign. Oh, I can't say that. Ron Cox has applied to amend this commission using conditional permit PZ 22-52. Sir?
Did you say something?
Do you have any comments, Brenda?
Yeah, would you like to come up, Ron?
Sure.
God, he is hot.
Commissioner, what we have before us is Ron Cox. He's here to request an amendment to his conditional use permit for the off-premises signs, which was PZ 2252. He did get approval for two 15 by
15 by 6.
two 15 by 6 signs, and he did get ITD approval for those signs as well. So what he would like to do now is to add an additional 10-foot by 3-foot digital sign just below those two signs in the window at that building there at 404 North Main Street.
Any questions?
No, I think we need to open it up to public hearing now.
I have one. Is it just for the pre-existing, the same thing you use the other signs for, correct? Just advertising, general advertising for local businesses, et cetera, et cetera? Okay, all right.
Politicians. That
Sure, sure.
Yep.
Okay, we'll have you sit back for a second, open up public comment, and after that, we bring you back up. Does anyone have any comments on this item of business? If so, please step forward and sign your name in. Awkward pause. Seeing none, we close the public hearing. Commissioners, do you have any questions? No.
Okay, so now I would like to comment. So why are we not getting a new permit for this?
Why is he not getting a second conditional use permit for the
Yeah,
digital
because
signs?
the reason why I ask is because when we first did this, it's been a while. And the first time that we did this in July of 2022, I remember we were talking about the light pollution from ITD and having to do like a study and having to do an application through them and all that other stuff. But now we're adding on a third one. We're not modifying the two that are there already, but we're adding a third one on that is lit.
So this was the same question I asked you, Brenda, why they didn't have to go through the entire process and why they amended it.
It's the same process, essentially. We're amending an existing conditional use permit for off-premise signs.
Okay.
His original permit was for off-premise signs. He is expanding the amount of signs at that location.
Okay.
So we are amending the original conditional use permit to allow for the digital.
So I think if it was at a different location, correct me if I'm wrong, there would be a whole different process.
That's correct. It would be an original document.
Would this require another application to ITD?
It does require an additional. He will have to receive.
Speak on that.
Yeah, come on up, Mr.
He
Cox.
will have to receive additional approval through ITD.
Okay,
So
got it.
it will be, you can make it a condition of approval.
Okay.
So I will make sure that ITD approves the sign. I have spoken with ITD, and they said that as of now, until I look into it further, they said that there would not be a necessary to amend the approval from ITD. They said that the approval is for the address. The address has off-premise sign approval that covers the new sign as well.
Okay, so then it would cover the lit sign as well?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what kind of sign it is, ITD is just like,
Right.
okay, cool.
And when I did it the first time in July, the previous, I don't know what Brock
Right.
said, okay, He told me that there wouldn't be any problems as long as there doesn't go against any zoning ordinances with the light. Like if I was to light up the signs or whatever, as long as it follows zoning ordinances and is not too bright or whatever distracting or whatever the ordinances are, that it would be fine.
Okay.
And it's the same type of illumination that you're using now?
Well, the illumination is the same type of illumination as the City of Mountain Home sign down the street.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Does that answer our collective questions?
Yeah, it answers mine, yeah.
Okay.
I think we probed
This
that
is
one out.
this is the sign that's currently up in the window. Now you have to redo for the conditional
Right, well,
permit, right?
so before purchasing the sign, because the sign is very expensive, I reached out and there was a misunderstanding as to whether or not I would need to get permits before putting the sign in. My understanding was because it was indoors and not an outdoor sign, that there was not a permit needed for it. Once I put it up, then I was explained that that was a misunderstanding, and so I needed to amend my conditional use permit.
Right. Now, I've heard something about this where it's like you can put up a sign, like if it's a McDonald's sign and it's like inside, indoors for
Right.
like,
If it was for
inside
Cox signs, there wouldn't
consumption.
be
Yeah.
any problem. But because I have off-premise advertising for other businesses, that's why I need the
Got
conditional
it.
use permit.
yeah. And that's just, and I repeat that just to kind of clarify so everybody in the room kind of understands what's going on.
Right.
Okay.
Excuse me, my chair. I did notice that on your original application with ITD that you did not check that it was a digital sign. Do you have the conversation with regarding to you do not need to get an additional approval through ITD in writing somewhere?
That was just verbal over the phone.
May we request something in writing from
Sure.
ITD for that, to make sure that is approved?
Okay.
We just make a condition of the,
Yeah, I got it.
any questions?
No, that was my only one is
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it is a digital lit up sign, it's a little bit different than the signs that are currently there. So I think the commission would want, or the next people, who are they? Council. Sorry. City council would want ITD sign off on that.
Right.
Or whatever. Yeah, those guys, the one who's sitting there. Yeah.
There is a spot on the application for digital signage for off-premise signs.
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
Yeah, because it does ask type of illumination and such, and it doesn't have that on there. So, okay. Any other questions, guys?
Vice Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to request to approve the amend conditional use permit of PZ-22-52, allowing the addition of a digital off-premise sign located at 404 North Main Street under the condition that ITD approves and/or signs off on the sign.
Mr. Chair, if I could just make an amendment to that. The permit PZ 2252 was the prior permit. The one we're dealing with today is PZ 24-5.
24-5. Correction noted.
Second.
Second by Rob. Start with you, Christina.
Aye.
Rob, aye.
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 Well, motion passed. Thank you, sir. Next, action item is amend this in C4 plan, unit development PZ 23-37 applicant, Taryn Mitchell. Hopefully I didn't mess up your name. TKM Architect. Miss Brenda?
Yeah, that should actually be PZ 2389 for the PUD.
Ooh, okay. Not bad.
Yeah, it's difficult when they're so close together. As I was doing these staff reports, I was like, which one am I on? So what you have before you is also an amendment to an application that has come before you, and that is for the Air-Based Commons Planned Unit Development. Their original PUD, they asked for 11 residential lots, 1 common lot, and 1 commercial lot, so there were 13 lots at the time. On those 11 residential lots, there were 4 plexes, and so the number of units were 44 residential units. Their amendment requests to make those 44 units on individual lots, And so therefore, they will be sellable individual lots.
Okay.
That is the only request they are asking at this time, which then the preliminary plat to follow would just show that those,
They're intertwined.
Next,
yep, yep,
44 separate.
44 separate lots.
Okay.
Any questions for bring the applicant up?
Which I just want to remind everyone that we've been down this road. I don't think some of us have, but we've been down this where they've wanted to separate in individual lots. So we've discussed this before, so probably the same questions spring up again. I've got a few, but
Yeah.
just in general, just
Okay.
as a recap.
Come on up, sir. Sign in for us, please.
I give you the magic key.
Actually, grab that PC over there.
I have my laptop too, if it's easier. Do you want us to sign in?
Yes, please.
Thanks, Monday.
You bet.
Probably should have warned you.
No, that's all right. I might just switch you back to my computer anyways. This one is not one to play. So. You're just gonna have to talk fast so we don't time out. Keep your finger on the trigger.
I'll talk fast. Is there a slot on that side?
Nope. The dongle.
I'll remember, I have the type C.
There was one.
Yeah, I reminded that because I think, Ms. Drake, you had said something that I found interesting last time with the individual that I didn't understand. Like about selling them individually, and the advantages versus the disadvantages that I found interesting that I think would be cool to state in this one.
Yeah. Glad to help.
False alarm.
So we went through the whole townhouse discussion. I know.
Yeah, we were talking about it just last week.
That's curious.
Well, that's not good.
Let me grab my laptop really quickly. Introduce us.
Sure. I get started without him. If you get finished before he gets back. So,
Okay.
I'm Michael Frere, the developer for this project, and yeah, do you want me to kind of explain why we're looking for the variation? So, I think what this does is two things. For me as a developer, it makes them easier to sell, I believe. They'll be able to sell them individually instead of 4 at a time. I can sell 1 at a time at the price point's less. And selling 4 at a time, I'm looking at selling to an investor, somebody who's probably not gonna live in the place, but just gonna use it as a rental to rent them out. So for me, the advantage of selling them individually is we'll get more people able to buy them for their primary residence. I'm sure some people would buy them for rentals as well, but I think the opportunity then is for somebody to actually have ownership in their home and not just be renting. So that's kind of in a nutshell why we again with this, to try and get more individual owners of the property, of the project.
Okay. Do you have any other, are you going to present anything else on the matter?
I do have a presentation, I apologize.
Okay, no, it's okay. I'm just
Technical error, it's entirely my fault.
wondering if we need more time.
He always has a presentation.
I know, I always look forward to the
I-
pictures of the buffalo grass. It's my favorite.
I scrubbed it from this one.
I have a few quick questions. So does each individual unit gonna have their own sewage, water, and then you'll have your own trash can, obviously, right? No dumpster fills? Okay,
Not on the residential side.
sure, not on the residential side, yep.
Well, I would imagine it would be all their own anyhow, right? Even if it was the 4.
They could utilize dumpsters for
Got it.
multifamily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or did you mean the PUD? You mean like, yeah, they're all individual, yeah,
Yeah.
to begin with. No, but
Yeah.
I was concerned with, the actual trash itself.
Yeah.
It is alive.
Well, and now we offer the 45s instead of the 95s. Is that right? Am I saying that right? He's over there looking at his watch. Yes. Okay.
Since I have now wasted a few minutes of your time, so I apologize. I will cycle through some of the initial slides, and so this gives an idea of the city of Mountain Home and how it's situated here in Elmore County. This indicates where the site lies in Mountain Home, so just off of Highway 51, or the transition of Highway 51 and Highway 67 on Air Base. This is the site as it appears in the early summer. So we're not quite there. I took pictures a while back. And so that is Bowman's Plumbing. This indicates where we are in terms of the city, or shows the city's area of impact. And our site is right here. So well within the city's area of impact. The next one shows that as well. Also provides zoning, where the zoning is, and so we are C4 is what we've requested as part of the last PUD. And so Brenda did a really great job of summarizing really what we're asking. So as Mr. Freer said, we are only looking to take the parcels that were per building and just make them individual per unit. So rather than 11, we're asking for 44. That would bring the total number of lots to 46, compared to 13 that we asked for originally. So this one shows that we have vacated the existing properties to become what we had as part of the preliminary plat from the original, which is there, and that shows the 11 parcels, residential parcels, the 1 common lot, and then the 1 commercial lot up top. And that is what we're asking for today. And so we would like to take each one of the units and put it onto a separate parcel. And you've seen these before, so no changes in terms of aesthetic or the layout. I will highlight again, I was clever, so it can't copyright that. Bob's Burgers there, that's what we're hoping for. Maybe it'll wind up being Mike's Burgers. Maybe. Okay, and that provides, again, a general layout of the landscaping and the site, the yellow indicating the buildings, the proposed buildings. Okay, so we do, as part of this request, there are additional, I would say, an additional request. Because the lots are smaller, beforehand we were larger than the minimums required in an R4 zone, or the R4 standard, excuse me, in a C4 zone. And now the lots are smaller because they are the size of a townhouse as opposed to a townhouse building. And so rather than the 5,000 square foot minimum, we're requesting the parcels be between 1,560 square feet up to 2,864 square feet. Oop, I'll go back one actually. And then that did mean that we do have 0-foot setbacks because they're townhouses, so the 0 is just where the units abut. And then we have a mixture of 5 feet, 7.5 feet, 10 feet, and 15-foot setbacks. And so the norm is to have between 5 and 7.5 feet. So 5 on one, or would be 0, I guess, on one side and 7.5 on the other. But by building, if they're the ends, then we have as much as 15 feet setback. So again, that, we can go back to the renderings or the site plan if you have questions about that. Everything else has stayed the same.
Any questions for public hearing?
It's pretty cut and dry, I think.
If you can, ask you to sit back for a second, I'll open up for public hearing. This time, open up for public hearing. Anyone would like to make a comment, please step forward and just sign in.
I just have a question.
Just state your name for the record.
Don Gust.
Thank you. Tom.
I have nothing against it. I'm just curious how many ways in and out of there is. I've only noticed the one. Is there more than one, or do you guys?
Like exit and entry points?
Yeah.
I don't think they're changing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's
Just
just,
that 2-lane in and out?
No, there's
Well,
one on one side and there's one on the other side.
One on
okay.
67 and 51.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That was my own question.
Okay.
I mean, simple.
Thank you, Don.
Commissioner, any questions for the,
Close the.
go ahead and close the public hearing. Thank you, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions for the,
I don't have any.
I don't have any questions. No. Do you have any comments, Travis?
if you can, could you come back up for a second? I have one question. Since they're going to be built individually, how are you going to do the build out? Because they're going to be adjoined.
Great question. So I think we're actually looking at the builder, so if I'm not mistaken, they'll have to be built by building.
Okay.
And so in order to get a certificate of occupancy, I believe the entire building has to be completed, so
All
4
four.
units.
All 4.
Four at
Okay.
a time, yeah, or at least 4 at a time, yeah.
Unless you want to
No, just
do some
for
oddball
the record, I was
construction.
just going to ask a question.
Sure, there's a way to make it more complicated, but
Use of tarps, right word.
I have a quick question. It doesn't really pertain, it's mostly my curiosity. Please entertain me. So there's no sidewalk on the Air Base Road, on the highway right there? There's no sidewalk, correct?
No sidewalk.
So have we checked with the school district to see if they were going to pick kids up here with the bus, or?
I did, and they had no comment. So I actually, as part of the, when I reach out to the, not the school district, so it would be Caldwell Transportation Services.
Sure,
And so they didn't have any comment. Usually I'll ask them if they would like to have a bus stop,
sure.
and they said no, not at this time.
Interesting. Okay. Just wanted to throw that out there.
So I'm assuming that they'll actually, this is an assumption,
They would accommodate,
they'll
yeah.
come into the,
Yeah, that'd be my
Development.
assumption, yeah, without there being a sidewalk. Okay.
And especially because you have those commercial buildings up front too.
Yeah,
I
2
would
sets of
assume.
highways.
Yeah.
No more questions, entertain a motion.
Have any other questions?
Vice Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Go ahead, Travis.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the existing C4 planned unit development, PZ 2337, correct, Brenda?
2389.
2389, excuse me. Gosh dang it. Not sure why I keep messing that up. Application by Taryn Mitchell, TKM Architecture, for approval.
Second.
Second, by Christian. Start with you, Travis.
Aye.
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 Aye, well, motion passed. If you want to just sit still, since we're going to talk about the plat. Next, the next action item is amend existing preliminary plat. PZ 2387.
Got it.
Thank you. Incredible. Applicant Taryn Mitchell, TKM Architect. Brenda?
Okay, so then what you have before you is the preliminary plat amendment to the planned unit development, which shows the new parcels. It has been reviewed and it matches the PUD.
I have a quick question. So if they would have had a final plat, would they have still been able to make this step? Or would they have had to amend all three? We'll say they wanted to come back and do this after we had already approved a final plat. We'll say months later, right? 2 months later before they start. Would they have to go through this exact same step?
What would the process for a final plat amendment, would we have to go through a vacate, perhaps, to replat?
So you'd have to go through the whole process again in order, you wouldn't even amend then, you would just re-propose.
You would annex and then.
Interesting, okay. Educational thing for me. Sorry.
Any comments, Aaron, or open it up for public comment?
Don't think you want to listen to me anymore.
I'm not saying okay, but.
Oh no, log up your computer.
Yeah. I'm not tongue-tied much. Can I have you step back for a second to open up public comment? Thank you. This time open up for public comment. Anyone like to make a comment, please step forward, state your name, and sign in. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
I already asked mine.
No? So entertain a motion then, no more questions?
Go ahead, please.
Vice Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the amendment to an existing preliminary plat, PZ 23-87.
Second.
Second by Ralph. Travis?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
All as well, motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Next item is new business is none. Old business is, the next item, we're going to postpone this since Chair is not here and gives us a little bit more time to review the items. Department head items, did everyone get the monthly building report that was sent? Any questions on that? Do you see an uptick in building permits lately, or is it just curiosity for me?
Well, I'll pass it over to Nicole, since that is her baby.
Hot seat.
So yeah, there has been quite a few permits coming in, fencing permits, and new residential CBH just dropped off a whole bunch of checks to start their builds.
Over in the,
Morning View.
Morning View, okay.
Yep.
Could
Heard
we
that.
get an update on how much water's left for allocation?
We have almost 2,000 using water.
2,000, that's what I was like, okay.
It's like 19 and some change.
Okay.
Any questions on department head items?
Just a comment, I'm seeing a lot of nuisance unlawful keeping of junk, huh? Interesting.
So, just curiosity on the public complaint for ordinance, is there anonymous, where you can make anonymous,
We
on the
do
website?
get several anonymous complaints.
Is it on the website?
They can call, they can send a letter.
Okay, I didn't know if there was like a link.
I believe there's also a link into the OpenGov where they can.
Okay,
make complaints
I wasn't
as well.
searching, I was just curiosity for myself. Any questions? Any items you request from us?
No, I just want to introduce you to Nicole Coffey. She is the assistant city planner, and she's killing it.
Speech.
She has to bring cupcakes next time.
Well, we leave now, right?
Might ask for pizza.
I don't think a speech, I think a song and a dance.
I'm gonna dance.
We're not going that far.
I'm not going that far.
Did everyone get their computers?
I need to get mine.
And if you have issues under Travis's, please get with Brandon to make sure that they are useful for you so you can utilize them here in an appropriate way.
Have any other questions?
Functionality
Yeah.
is good.
And no more questions, we adjourn the meeting at 6 o'clock.